This one's wife. Instagram. She actually responded. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Months ago, I explained how this one's wife's return to Instagram would prove her undoing. And we have seen how this one's wife has increasingly relied upon it, resulting in her releasing posts and videos which not only demonstrate further aspects of her narcissism, but have invited ridicule. That in effect, having gone from mediocre actress with a blog and a social media presence to joining the royal family, she's now returned to being a mediocre individual on social media. She has two accounts, as you know, her personal account and one for As Ever. And over the last 10 days or so, As Ever has been ritualistically pumping out footage and posts from supposed purchasers of her flower sprinkles and the wine. As I've explained in separate videos, the narcissist utilizes social media as a playground. The existence of social media allows the narcissist to control far more people, far more easily, because there is the ability, in effect, to place millions of hooks into cyberspace to catch victims. It allows the drawing of fuel from lots of different sources, individually, not necessarily particularly potent or substantial fuel, but cumulatively, it all adds up through aggregate, amounting to a substantial fuel blast for the narcissist. It can translate into the acquisition of character traits and also residual benefits. For someone as this one's wife, her narcissism naturally says, use the social media, get on the gram, use the Insta, because it's easy, it's cheap, and it's instantaneous. Nevertheless, and I don't need to point the instances out as I've documented them before, we have seen the collateral consequences of her use of Instagram, with the result that it shows more and more of what a haphazard narcissist that she is. And, as I predicted, and it'll prove her undoing. An interesting aspect of her use of social media is that while she receives fuel from people liking the posts, she has turned off comments, which has been done to nullify the potential threat to control posed by people commenting adversely. This means that, particularly with regard to her brand, there's no engagement. Sure, she can post things where people comment, oh look, I bought some overpriced vinegar wine, but she doesn't interact with people. She doesn't give them anything other than what she posts. Now, she wouldn't necessarily have the time to answer and address everything, but she'd certainly have more time than many people have available, since she doesn't have a proper job. But the fact is, there is no engagement because her narcissism has decided that the most important thing to nullify threat to control posed by potentially people criticising her, taking the piss out of her in the comments, is to close them off entirely. Thus, there's no engagement from this one's wife. That is, until now. As reported by somebody called Ms. Hysterin, writing in something called Feminegra, which I'll let you make your own minds up about what that actually means, there is an article headlined, and I'm going to use her name because it conveys the substance of the way that she's regarded, Meghan Sussex, which of course we all know isn't her actual name, but it demonstrates how the writer has been taken in to believe that it is. Meghan Sussex and Shonda Rhimes spark collaboration buzz with playful Instagram exchange. I had no idea who Shonda Rhimes is, and if you're in the same boat as me, well, you should know that she's an American television producer and screenwriter and founder of the production company Shondaland. She has been inducted into the Television Hall of Fame and NAB Broadcasting Hall of Fame. She served as the executive producer of How to Get Away with Murder, Bridgerton, and Queen Charlotte of Bridgerton's story and inventing Anna. So she's been involved in television. Apparently, she's one of the richest women entertainers in America with a net worth of $250 million, and she's published a memoir. So it's unsurprising, therefore, that this one's wife is moved to respond to her because naturally her narcissism lights up by thinking, aha, fuel can be obtained, character traits can be obtained, potential substantial residual benefit as a consequence of wealthy television producer. Naturally, her narcissism will be considering how Shonda Rhimes could be used. But what's the exchange? Well, apparently, according to this author, a light-hearted social media moment between this one's wife and Shonda Rhimes has fans calling for a collaboration. Rhimes posted an Instagram reel that showed her tending a chicken coop while holding a basket of eggs. The caption read, "But I'd rather be playing this one's wife," referencing this one's wife's now famous rescue chickens and her lifestyle often seen at her Monty Shit Show home. This one's wife then actually responded on Instagram and did so directly to the post, writing, "I see you, Shonda. Come play anytime," followed by chicken, egg, and laughing emojis. This is a woman in her 40s. Rhimes replied, "I just might." Their short exchange gained traction and attention across social platforms, igniting hopes for a creative partnership between a television powerhouse and the Duchess of Sussex. And there you have it. So that was the exchange that took place. Apparently, this one's wife's comment was significant, not only because it was warm and direct. Well, if you know, it's the appearance of warmth, because there is no warmth associated with her because of the absence of emotional empathy, and also because it marked one of her few public messages since returning to Instagram earlier this year. Her presence on social media has remained minimal, which made the interaction with Rhimes even more impactful. Rhimes, who usually keeps her captions brief and work-focused, played along, reinforcing a tone of mutual admiration. This isn't the first time Rhimes has been asked about connections to this one's wife. In 2023, she addressed speculation that Queen Charlotte drew inspiration from this one's wife's life. At the time, Rhimes denied the link and clarified that her story focused on historical fiction, not real royal events. That moment set a boundary. This time, the conversation feels like an invitation. The Instagram moment between this one's wife and Shonda Rhimes offered more than a bit of joy. It captured what happens when two influential black women share public space with warmth, wit, and mutual respect. While no project has been announced, the exchange lit a spark in the public imagination, or rather, an opportunity for this one's wife to try and worm her way in with someone, because, of course, it would benefit her. What is interesting is that ordinarily there is silence from this one's wife on Instagram other than her posts. But the fact that she was moved to respond to what was said in respect of her by Shonda Rhimes demonstrates, of course, how her narcissism saw that it was worthwhile expending the energy, limited as it is, to actually write a response to her. It's nothing to do with warmth. It's nothing to do with affection. It's all to do with, as you have now been educated by me, the prime aims: to assert control over Shonda Rhimes by responding to it, to receive fuel by people liking what this one's wife wrote, and also in respect of the replies that were issued to what this one's wife had written, and the fact that Rhimes replied to it herself, but also because her narcissism sees the opportunity to gather some residual benefits by trying to get involved with somebody. Notice once again that this one's wife only bothers with black people when they're wealthy, Tyler Perry being another example. But if you're not wealthy and you're black, she doesn't want to know you. Indeed, she invariably looks down on you. This is because you have no actual purpose to serve for her if you haven't got money, because money is so important to her as a residual benefit. And such is its importance, it drives her to break her usual silence on Instagram. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.